So, hello everyone, and welcome to the Cloud8 Summit of 2026. My name is Rolf Tröndle. I am the host of this or today's session all about Copilot agents, and as well as joined here moderator Drago Petrovic, and we are also co-hosting this event together. Thank you, Drago, for moderating this session. The sponsors of this year's event are .cloud and Change Cockpit. So we again have some sponsors. Welcome and thank you for sponsoring this event and this live session. Then the goal of this particular session now is that you gain clarity on Copilot's agents, ecosystems, real-world scenarios, and the key steps for secure and successful adoption. This means you know or you have basic knowledge about all agents which are currently out and available for or inside your Copilot for Microsoft 365 subscription. The agenda for these sessions are first quick recap from 0 to Wave 2 Spring Release, and afterwards some more updates. Then from prompt to agent, out of the box agents, and Q&A. If you have some times left, then please have a look or just enter your Q&A directly into the chat box. And then if we have time left, some favorite changes for myself of 2025. So first, from 0 to Wave 2 Spring Release, we started back in November 2023. This was the GA, or then at least then Copilot. Since then, Copilot's GA, then January 2024, Microsoft lifted the 300-seat minimum and the Microsoft dependency license. Also, Office 365 licenses can have Copilot and not only Microsoft licenses. And back September 2024, Wave 2 came out. In between were plus 700 updates with additional of 150 features. Then from May 2025, we entered, so almost 1 year ago, we entered the Wave 2 Spring Release. Since then, we announced and Change Cockpit 385 updates only from May till December. That's quite an impressive number, I think. And many agents that these are the agents we are talking about right now in these sessions, or more specific, we are talking about 15 agents which rolled out and are in preview or available in Frontier. So then let's switch the chapter to from prompt to agent, out of the box agents. We have, as just mentioned, 15 out of the box agents which are available. I don't read now every agent for you because we go through each and every agent now. I have a quick recap of what the agent is about. As mentioned in the goal session of this presentation, the goal is that you have an overview and you at least know the basic functionality of every agent so you can dig in deeper yourself. So I would say let's start with the first one called the SharePoint agent. The SharePoint agent, I think that's one of the first ones. It's also available and usable with pay as you go. So I think that's quite interesting because you can use SharePoint agent as well with Copilot, or in respective to Copilot unlicensed users. So they can use it as pay as you go. And it's basically this SharePoint agent is a chat-based agent focused on specific content. So inside your SharePoint Online, you go into, let's say, a document library. You create your SharePoint agent there, and then SharePoint agent is only grounding on the specified sources inside this SharePoint library or folder. Then we have some use cases for this one. HR regulations as example, operating instructions. So HR regulations, you have your regulations, manuals, and so on based in one SharePoint folder as an example, and then people or employees can ask questions and you know only the most up-to-date information will be used and not anything else that's cluttered and distributed inside your tenant. Then IT help desk as another scenario, and sales and customer support to get quickly answers for specific customer questions regarding your products. So let's have a look or a quick look about the SharePoint agent. We have here this document library in a regular SharePoint Teams website. We see we have some files in here from Change Cockpit in this regard. And then we go back. We want to have a SharePoint agent to answer questions about all upcoming or all release changes. We go to click on Create New Agent. And this agent is finally already created. It will be opened here on the right side. And now I can ask questions about all contents or all documents which are stored inside this folder, subfolders and files. I go here, tell me more about timer in Teams meetings. And now this SharePoint engine gets all the information out, getting ready. Yes, all demos were cut a bit together so we can consume or save some time so we don't have to wait for Copilot. So you're asked about the timer features, and now Copilot found two particular features. One is countdown timer in Teams, and the other one is timer in breakout rooms. We also see these were announced way back already in July 2025, and then in August 2021, we released the timer in breakout rooms feature, or we announced this inside Change Cockpit, so it even found this information way back because the presentation is still stored inside this Teams channel or inside this folder. Then we have a newer one that's called the SharePoint Page Agent. This was announced last Ignite. We have here, with this one, you can create SharePoint online pages directly from an agent or at mentioning this agent inside Copilot chat. You can therefore create SharePoint pages or edit pages without switching applications, so without switching to SharePoint Online itself. And it allows you to have structured content like meeting recaps, announcements, and projects. Have a look at this one. We are here inside the SharePoint Page Agent. We added this agent from the agent gallery into the Microsoft 365 Copilot application. And here we go. We opened the SharePoint Page Agent, give the prompt, create SharePoint page about change cockpit.ch. Very, very basic prompt. We could also reference documents if needed. Now I get a proposed outline already. I say, yes, confirm outline and draft content. This content will be drafted now before it will be added to the SharePoint page. Now, search for a SharePoint site by name. I didn't specify the site, so I can add the site. Now I select the site from a drop-down just inside this chat, and now all this content will be added to the just selected SharePoint site. I click on it, I check it. Yes, everything is here about Change Cockpit. All this content here that you see just right now was just created by the SharePoint agent or the SharePoint Page Agent, but we used only Copilot Chat to do so. So that's quite a neat agent, I think, for SharePoint content owners. Then an older one, Facilitator Agent. Facilitator Agent is the meeting moderation, let's say the virtual person joining into a Teams meeting, which will moderate the meeting, like time tracking. It will create all your meeting minutes, your meeting notes in real time. You can also co-author. I think most of you already know this one if you have a Copilot license. It will also identify open tasks and will assign or support you assigning these tasks and will respond to goals and agendas. Have a look at this one. This Facilitator Agent must be turned on either while planning the meeting. Inside the meeting options, you can turn Facilitator Agent on, or as we will see in the demo right next up, you can do it while or once the meeting already has started. So let's say the organizer who needs to have this Copilot license, the organizer forgot to turn it on in the meeting options, but you would like to add it. So then just do this after the meeting started. Microsoft says you should start Facilitator Agent within the first 5 minutes to gain most out of it. So here we start this meeting. We go to more, turn on Facilitator. It will be turned on now and it will start to work. This is a virtual person joined the meeting called Facilitator. It will introduce itself. Great thought, everyone. And then it will, halfway through the meeting, 12 minutes left. So it will help us moderate everything. There are some decisions and open questions recap at the end of the meeting, including sources or specifying sources. Afterwards, we see the full follow-up task list, which was just created, and we can also do some co-authoring and help correcting, let's say something was misspelled or some information was wrong inside the meeting minutes. You can just do co-authoring because everything is based on the meeting notes loop component. So that's basically the same, only that this agent fills out this loop component for us. Next up is the interpreter agent. So interpreter agent was released, I think, back in last May, and this could be a very huge potential, or could have a very huge potential, because you can do instant translation of speech during a Teams meeting. So this means everything, or if you have another native language like I do, I have Swiss German as a native language, but I'm, let's say, inside a meeting and the other guys talk English or whatever, and then I can just turn on interpreter agent and it will do voice translation, live voice translation, or live voice interpreting, including voice simulation. So it tries to mimic your voice, including visual indicators. So this was introduced last May. We tested regularly during our Change Cockpit session. Unfortunately, this is my experience is that they didn't improve in quality from May up to October when we tried it the last time. I hope Microsoft fills in this gap, because we have some kind of, it's not that good already. It's not so specific language, but there is huge potential. So I hope they really work on this one. And it's not only available in meetings, we also announced in Change Cockpit back last December that it will also be available for PSTN calls, meaning you can also do it using regular calls and not only inside a meeting. It supports languages like English, Spanish, Portuguese, Japanese, Chinese, Italian, German, French, and Korean. Let's have a look at this one. We see here that's the meeting, or we recorded the screen during a meeting. We record the Teams, and as soon as we turn on the interpreter agent, then we see this visual marking around the speaking person, or about the presenter. So let's have a look.
Will be using a loop component, so the loop component usage will go up if you use a start to add a loop pages in as Chatterung. Sie, die fokussierte Person.
Now we switch to German.
Wenn der Manager
Let's switch to French.
Weniger feature. This auto hide for inactive channels was rolled out. Ensuite, il y a une mise à jour concernant la fonction de masquage des canaux inactifs.
So that's it. We heard the English original tone, and afterwards we switch to German and then again to French. So it's quite easy. It's not that specific. As soon as I switch slides and go to the next change, then sometimes it continues to talk about the last one for 30 seconds or so. So quite some work to do. Other tools are in the meantime better to this, but keep this. Just watch out for improvements regarding this because of the huge potential. Then Project Manager Agent is an agent integrated into Planner, so it's your virtual planner assistant. It can execute and create from goals to plans. So you specify a goal inside a project, it will create a plan for you, it will execute tasks and does some automation and notifications. Have a look at this one. We see here the planner, it's integrated into Planner, and this is a project manager plan. We see also this bucket called Assign to Project Manager. So I have now some tasks, and as soon as I assign these tasks to the project manager agent, the agent will start to work on this one. Let's have a look. Identify first steps. Everything is empty in here. It's just the prompt identify first steps required to kick off campaign. We move it to the project manager and it instantly starts to work on that one. Do the same with research target audience. Afterwards, once completed, it will move it automatically to needs your input or ready for review buckets. So let's have a look. Oh, everything is filled out now. So it really did the job. It tried to do its best. And you can also specify or correct some inputs, tell it to change some things in here, and it will rework again. So that's basically the project manager agent. So kind of automating the prompts based on the specific task instructions. Then we have the researcher agent. That's basically the reasoning model integrated into Copilot chat. It will use your personal context within your organization data, like regular chat. It will generate structured content and combine some internal documents and web. Let's have a look at this one too. You see here a researcher agent is also inside the agent's pane. We tell it build a comprehensive market share analysis for SBB using work and web sources. I just used SBB because in Switzerland many people know SBB. That's the only reason. And so it will do the research as we are used in such models like from other tools like ChatGPT or Claude or whatever. So that's basically deep reasoning or researching but built in your Copilot, app, and as well working with your company data. Then we have the analyst agent. Let's call it, we could say it's a researcher agent on steroids. This can do data analysis for sales finance. So that's the design, or Microsoft released it with specific these use cases in mind. You can also use Excel or CSV and so on as input, and it will also use deep reasoning model and create Python code to work on that one. We see here we have also the analyst agent in Frontier, also included inside Microsoft 365 Copilot application. I have the prompt here, review my year-on-year earnings data, and I even add an Excel file as input, and it will do the analysis based on this data and using this prompt. It starts now, it works on that one. It creates Python code to create tables, graphs, and so on. That's just a quick intro on what it is doing. It's working. And now we have also some graphs created just from this analyst agent. Next up is the people skills agent. So people skills, that's a newer one. This uses information based on the user activity. Inside, it's a proprietary LLM integrated into your tenant or into Copilot. And this user activity will be mapped into built-in, and it will use its own modifiable taxonomy, and does the extraction. This agent integrates in Copilot chat, but also in Microsoft 365 Viva. You can use the skills, can be searched for, so you can search for skills and at the base rollout, there were 16,000 plus skills available, but as mentioned, it's manageable by you inside the skills library, so you can modify it on your company's needs. Then let's have a look at this agent. First, we try to find some colleagues with specific skills. Let's say we want to build a project team, and then we go and browse through with these skills. So how many people do I have with TensorFlow skills? It goes through it. We also see the org chart, and we can also specify which skills we want to grow on our contact card. And here we have all the confirmed and people with confirmed skills. So that's basically the thing in it. And on every company and every people card inside Microsoft 365, in there we see all the skills listed to the people. And if you don't have a Copilot license, it won't be mapped automatically. It will be, but you can still add the skills manually to your profile card, so it can be found by people skills agent. Here we also see some distribution insights of skills inside our own company. So that's a very, very quick recap of this agent. Next up, and released recently, is the service agent. Basically, it's an agent which will do the Microsoft Forms, or which will steer and control Microsoft Forms for you. It will also create from the survey creation, it will also help you to create a distribution plan. You can monitor response rates, send reminders, and so on. Last availability was in Frontier. By the way, Frontier is available to configure by you as an admin inside Microsoft 365 Admin Center. So it's kind of an early preview release, which you can allow users to try new features on. Service Agent is also integrated into Copilot Chat. I create now a new customer feedback survey using this prompt. Then we have this Service Agent working on that one. It will now create this feedback survey. So it basically really creates behind the scenes a new forms form. We see here the HTML code built for the forms and some questions in here. Then it will help me to launch this survey and to create an email to send out review launch plan. It will create, oh yes, you are targeting 5 responses by September 2025. Day 0 is the launch. It will now draft an email for me, send via email. It's not that neat yet. Now it's changed to a button, send via email. Next steps are midpoint push and final 24-hour. I click on send by email. It will trigger the form sent by email feature. I just add someone else and this email will be sent out. So this person just got these forms inside the email and can fill out the forms, and it will then review if the people respond to the form and will tell me, hey, you need to send out a reminder to reach your forms goal. So that's basically helping you managing forms service. Then another newer one is Knowledge Agent. Knowledge Agent has new features by itself, but it also uses already existing Copilot features from your tenant, like AI, creating new AI sections inside SharePoint Online, or like creating the SharePoint and using a SharePoint agent, as we have seen as the very first agent in this presentation. But the real strengths of the Knowledge Agent is creating and extracting metadata and from documents and structuring libraries. So it will do autofill columns based on your content, as we will see in just some seconds. You can then sort and filter based on this data. It has context-aware suggestions, and you can then also combine the site creation with Copilot sections with AI and so on. So let's have a look at this one. Here we have the Knowledge Agent. We have a very unstructured library, like can be that we have on some SharePoint pages, unstructured content. So people just putting in their information and their documents without anything else into a document library, putting stuff in here. And now we want to structure this content and work on that one. So let's have a look. So here we see again a closer look to this unstructured content. Now we will organize this library. We'll go identify metadata to extract, create the metadata inside the table or inside the document library. And now let me know when new files are added. It will help me to create a new rule of files added to this library. Create a rule wizard will show already pre-filled by this agent. Then show me Java Core Fiber and group by department. So it will now group all these files by department, metadata, everything extracted by this Knowledge Agent. It's really great power, I think. Then someone asks a question about the specific contents or about the project. I tell him, let me look into this. I go back into the SharePoint site, and now this is a SharePoint agent. I ask the SharePoint agent about the content or the question which was just asked to me. I get the results back. Now let's improve the SharePoint site. Knowledge Agent will start and will help me retire pages, find content gaps. So it will help me maintain the content, keep it current, and also help me remove outdated stuff. Afterwards, I want to create a new page, or let's say I want to create a new news article inside this SharePoint page. I go to create with AI news post that was already also available knowledge agent just helps me to trigger it. Now customize my news post, new prompt. I add a document to create a news post based on. Now we have this proposal of this agent. I add a new section using AI that was rolled out in the meantime as well. Here we have some previews. I choose the one I prefer and send out this news page. Everything just built within minutes, let's say, using the knowledge agent and all other Copilot stuff already available inside SharePoint Online. Then we have a newly announced app builder agent to create interactive no-code apps directly from Copilot chat. But currently it's US only available, unfortunately, but I think it will soon follow, or at least this year it will follow also, let's say, into Europe. And let's have a look at this one. It was announced at Ignite. So I go to the app builder agent. I tell it, hey, I need an app to help me capture milestones and work towards career path goals. I even specify a document as source. Now it will create this application for me. That's it, application is done. I see upcoming features, goal progress, so it fulfilled everything I specified, take some actions. Now let's do some changes. Move the side navigation to the top of the screen. We see the side navigation here on the left. Now it's moved to the top. So easy done, we have a new application. I go through all modules which were created, I test everything, and then I share it to other people in my organization. Everything created using the app builder agent. Then we have some people agents, some people stuff. People stuff is basically available, or we have three agents. We will see or have a look into the three now. We have the people agent, the learning agent, and the workforce insights agent. These are kind of based together. It's also kind of combined with the people skills framework we've seen before. The goal of the people agent is so you can get people-centric information, so you can get more information about other people in your org. Perhaps if you are a new employee, then this will help you to get up to date quite fast. It will use sources like document, emails, so basically everything stored in the tenant, and it even uses org data from the company directory. If you specify the manager attributes in Enter ID, then you also have the fully populated organization chart, and it will also use data from this chart and also use people skills information. So if you specified skills on your contact card, on your Microsoft 365 profile card, then it will also use this as grounding source. Let's have a look at this one. That's another agent also included into Copilot chat. People agent in Frontier, and let's ask it, how large is his organization of Kyan Greenwood? Based on the company's org data, it will help me, and it will visualize everything inside an org chart. It will also show me the distribution of time zones of this team. Then I want to know more about specific Mary Reynolds. So Mary Reynolds, it will have prompts, predefined prompts. Tell me about Mary Reynolds, or suggest way to break the ice with Mary Reynolds. So tell me more about Mary Reynolds, predefined prompts. We'll work on that, and it will tell me everything I need to know, like role and reporting. Let's minimize the org chart, and I see only the output of the people Frontier, currently in Frontier agent. So I see everything I want to know. That's basically getting information about specific or general people, or about some departments inside the organization. Then we have the learning agent, which will integrate everything in Viva Learning, Microsoft Learn, or you have stuff in SharePoint, or even you are using a third-party LMS system, or you combine everything in LinkedIn courses, and it will help you learn or reach your personalized and specified learn goals. So basically you add a new skill you want to develop on your profile card, and then Learning Agent will help you reach the goal to have this skill afterwards. Again, integrated in Copilot chat, we have the personalized Learning Agent. So here I have a new learning profile. I tell it, hey, I want to know more about agent development. That's my wished skill. I add it. Going back, asking the learning agent, I would like to learn more about agent development. It will help me, okay. I will find information, tell me why it really matters, and so on. Give me learning resources. Then give me tips on how to use Copilot for agent development. Copilot integrated. How Copilot can help you, some hints. Some tips how to maximize some value. Then I want to know more about role play. That's just another topic, and it will now find a LinkedIn course about role play and propose this one to me. Some session goals, click on Start Role Play. LinkedIn, if integrated, will open, and we can do and start learning about navigating conflicts in role play scenarios. And start the course right inside LinkedIn. And if you publish from your organization, you will be able to publish courses in there as well, and people can choose from this content library. Then we have another one called the Workforce Insights Agent. That's the third one in here, and this will help people, leads or team leads, get answers about staffings and skills. Let's say you have a new team leader and he wants to ask about, are we staffed or do we have the right skills? It uses the newly announced Work IQ based, and it also uses sources like organization and again people skills data. So everything is interconnected in here. Have a look at this one. I have this Workforce Insights Agent. How is my team currently staffed? Provide a breakout by role, function, visualize breakdown. Now it will start to work. Here we go. Head count by function, including graphs, including optical or including graphical representation, role matrix, level and functionality. Everything delivered by this Workforce Insights Agent gives me a quick overview about my team is staffed and skills are available. Some key insights and some calculations. Then kind of not an agent, but also based for automation is the newly announced project Opal. Opal is here to get your task-based work down. The basic idea is that repetitive tasks will be done for you inside a Windows 365 Cloud PC. This needs admin setup to use, and then it will do real-time or real actions like clicking, typing, editing. So it's kind of a virtual colleague working in your name, because this Cloud PC will log in with your account and then can do your repetitive work. Let's have a look at this one. I want to tell Opal now, or Opal, this is for Opal Agent. I create a new job. And I tell Opal, navigate to the compliance view, use the workload dropdown, select some workload and extract information and save it, the screenshot in OneDrive. So it will now start this virtual view, computer view. I see it working. I can, if I want to interrupt it, I can take control. Clicking on take control, I can change some stuff in here. As soon as I'm ready, I click return control. The agent will take over again, starts to work. While it's working, I can even change the prompt instructions. After you finish downloading all the screenshots, open it in OneDrive. Now it will open it in my files inside OneDrive and show me everything that it's done. Even a shortcut to my files in OneDrive to see the result, which was just uploaded by the Opal agent. So quite a neat scenario, I think. Then, integrating all this stuff, I want to quickly or briefly talk about the main challenges we see out in the field. First one, the challenge: Copilot can use all data that the user has access to inside the tenant. This means having stuff in there, lingering objects, old stuff, outdated content, and you just don't do anything, or you have oversharing inside your organization and people can access stuff which they shouldn't. Copilot will find it. And this means content will then be Copilot will then use this content and create more nice outputs. Interpret this graphic by yourself. So this means basically chunk in equals chunk out by Copilot. So this means you need to have you need to solve the oversharing problem. There are several tools to do that. Some base solutions afterwards. You need to have a nice governance concept, and you need to enforce it. And as mentioned, chunk in means chunk out, because Copilot amplifies everything already present inside your tenant, including permissions, data quality, and governance, even if it's worse afterwards. So Copilot just thinks everything is the truth, what's laying around, even if it's content outdated or files which are 10 years old. Then, from a user perspective, prompting is kind of a new way of thinking. So we do some prompting courses there and help users getting into this one. And then we have also the adoption. How can you use Copilot to boost productivity? We surely also have some solutions to this, like the oversharing. You can use SharePoint Online Advanced Management. For those of you who didn't know, SharePoint Online Advanced Management is available for free for the whole tenant if you have at least one Copilot license. So you can do the reports in there, oversharing reports. You have controls like a restricted discovery. You have your archive team with all this old data from, as an example, from your file server to Teams migration. Just turn on restricted discovery for this particular archive, and Copilot won't use the content in there anymore. So that's one basic example. Then protect your critical and sensitive data with labels, especially if it's very sensitive, and exclude these labels from Copilot usage using, as example, DLP policies or adding it as a label configuration. So even if there is oversharing in place, Copilot won't use the most sensitive data in your organization. Then create and enforce this governance concept. And for adoption, Microsoft has on a nice adoption website, you have a library full of possible scenarios how to work with Copilot. Normally, we identify these scenarios and then we start from there, start from one scenario to another during the first adoption phase. Then I talked about what's coming, released. This was already released. Why do we know that? Because we have Change Cockpit. This is also another sponsor from today's event. Change Cockpit basically is a monthly live event where we announce all changes rolling out in Microsoft 365 for the current month. This is around, sorry, that's outdated information. We talk around 150 changes a month. Microsoft is rolling out currently only in the current and the following month. So that's quite insane. And we present all these changes to you, structured, prioritized, and after attending at this monthly 2-hour session, you know everything what's coming and especially what's important to you and your tenant, because sometimes there are breaking changes in there. If you think, oh, that sounds interesting, there's a free demo available. The next event will be next week. You can attend for free. If you haven't seen it before, just sign up to Change Copy Cloud or write to me. I have my email address at the end. And here are some referenced customers, some amazing customers who are already using our Change Cockpit service. Some stats I mentioned, it's insane. We announced 1,854 changes last year in calendar year 2025. This means Microsoft is publishing 5 changes a day. If you want to keep track on these and if you want to know everything about them, just go and attend the sessions. And out of these were 46 changes which have a critical issue, means they are potentially a breaking change in there, and we see how Microsoft is doing the changes. We started back in September using this update service or providing this update service with around 50 changes. It was quite a fun, and now we have sometimes up to 180 changes a month, which we have to split. Then the next events, as just mentioned, attend for free demo is next Wednesday in Swiss German in the morning from 9:30 till 11:30 and 3 to 5 in the afternoon, the English version. Just sign up on changecopy.cloud or PM me on Teams or email to rolf@changecopy.ch if you want to know more. Now we are already at the end of these keynote presentations. If you have some Q&A, just shoot it into the chat or you can also add me on LinkedIn if you would like to. Let's see, for now, I haven't seen any questions yet. So I will stay here for some minutes now. If you want to leave, that's fine. Thank you very much for that you attended this session. Sorry, was sidetracked. Thank you that you attended the session. I hope you learned something about these agents. Perhaps you have seen a new agent, and see you hopefully soon. Thanks and goodbye. No questions. No questions, so I will close the event now. Thanks again for attending. Have a nice event. Bye-bye.